Hi, this week at Noggin Builders, we're celebrating Earth Day, which is this Friday, April 22nd. We're gonna make one of my favorite projects, which is recycled paper. You can do this at home with just a few supplies. First, you're gonna want a blender, definitely not one that you're gonna use for food, just for art. And what I've done is I've taken a bunch of construction paper, leftover scraps from an old art project, tear them into small pieces about this size, and place them into your blender. Next, you'll want to cover those pieces of paper with warm or hot water. There's not an exact amount of water you need, but just make sure that you've about covered to the top of your paper. Then, you're going to blend that until it's a mushy pulp. When it's done, you'll want it to look rather slushy, but it's okay if you can see individual pieces of your paper as well. It'll make for a nice variety in the new paper that you're making. Our next step is to put that pulp onto a screen. So I made this screen by taking a simple old wooden frame and using a piece of window screen, stapling it around the edges and being sure to duct tape over the staples so that none were sticking out. I'm gonna place my screen into a messy tray because there will be a bit of a mess. And then I take 1 scoop of my pulp and put it onto my screen. It doesn't matter how much water you get, we're gonna be squeezing all of that water out anyways. Now here's the fun part. I can shape this into whatever shape I want. You can have your child work on making shapes like circles, squares, triangles, or hearts, or if you have some cookie cutters laying around, you can place the pulp inside a cookie cutter and it will hold whatever shape you've made. The next step is to take a piece of felt. White is best because the color from the felt will transfer to the paper. You're going to put the felt directly over your pulp on your screen and then flip over. I'm gonna place that back in my messy tray. Now I've got a dry sponge that I'm gonna use to soak up as much water as I can. So I'm going to press this onto my paper, and as I'm gathering water from the pulp and pulling it away into the sponge, my paper is becoming drier. If your sponge becomes saturated, you can wring it out and then keep going. You want to keep going with this process until no more water is coming up into your sponge. It may take a few times. After that, you can gently remove your screen and you'll have your paper. You want to leave the wet paper on the felt for 24 to 48 hours until it's completely dry, at which point it will peel easily off the felt. And when you're done, you'll have brand new paper that you've made from scraps. So instead of throwing it away, you're celebrating Earth Day by making new paper from something old. Happy Earth Day, everyone.